Welcome to Faith to Change. As we dive into this channel, I've had this on my heart to start talking about how faith can change your life and bring you closer to God. So this channel is just going to be about ways that we can do that. The first topic I'm going to talk about is forgiveness. And I wrote a significant amount of notes, and it kind of just was off the dome. So as I wrote, I just kind of thought about what forgiveness means to me and how I feel like it can change how you perceive certain situations. And I don't know, let's just dive into it and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. Personally, I had to forgive certain people in my life, even if I didn't tell them or talk much about the situation with them. I kind of just forgave for myself. So I wrote, forgiveness, how? And I wrote, start with forgiving yourself. Can you forgive someone else without forgiving yourself? Same thing with love. How can you love somebody else without loving yourself first? You didn't know what you didn't know. You have to think about what needs to be forgiven. How long did it impact your life? How did it make you feel? And for what length of time? And how often did it trigger you? Are you willing to let it go without a discussion, or does there need to be one? Is that an option? I say is that an option because sometimes when you open a can of worms in order to talk about something, it could make the trauma worse. So that's why I wrote, is it even an option? Because sometimes your mental health just really won't allow you, Also think, what would change after that? What would change after possibly talking about what happened? What do you get out of it? What would the dynamic of the relationship be after that? Would it be worth it? Or are you just blowing hot air? The one-sided forgiveness train, I put in quotes, and I wrote, it's an analogy, a random one. So like when two trains are passing each other on the railroads and they pass each other so smoothly without any trouble because that's how well the train tracks were built. Would having this convo halt one's train while the other one keeps chugging along peacefully? Trains get passed by each other so effortlessly with no problems. But at any moment, one can get stalled for any reason, and that could halt how their day proceeds because obviously they have to stop and try to figure out what's wrong with the train. Same thing with a person. Would having this conversation even be valid? Would it help with your healing? And we have to, at the end, think of both parties. Like, is both trains going to be able to keep chugging along after this? Or is somebody's life going to be stalled because they're now thinking that, well, whatever the topic is that needs to be forgiven, what if discussing it makes that person's trauma worse, as I stated? Or what if it just halts this person's growth because they're not sure how to get past the conversation, or the conversation wasn't healing? There's no commonality at the end of the conversation. Like, what was resolved? We have to think about some conversations, are they worth having because both people have a resolution at the end, if that makes sense. Okay, next page says, forgive for you first. Let that go off your heart. Then for God second, is his way, what would he want? Then for them, third, for they do not know. Sometimes people really don't know what they did. And sometimes they do. But is confronting that person going to help heal you? Just based off of how you're feeling? Or is it going to heal both of you and bring them understanding and bring you healing? Why forgive? Because it's not fair to hold on to unnecessary baggage that life comes with. Because we all know life comes with a lot. So why keep holding on to something, a situation, a moment, a quote-unquote trigger that other person isn't thinking twice about? And the saying, living rent-free in my head. I keep seeing that on social media. Like, how is that fair to you? I did, in my own analogy, is unnecessary tabs in your head. Close that tab, end that chapter, start a new book. Tabs as in like on the computer, and you close the tab for my younger generations. The best part about forgiving is not forgetting. It was a lesson. Accept the lesson as a blessing, because now you have new knowledge, and new knowledge could be wisdom on how to handle that situation later in life. When you approach that similar predicament, you now know, okay, I could do this and this might happen, or I could do this and that might happen. Because you're learning from the past lesson. You earned a pass test score for that new blessing, because now you know I could do this or I could do that. This could happen or that could happen. But mind you, everybody is different. You're not going to get the same result with different people. I wrote down the J. Cole song, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, put the blame on you. Can't put the blame on you. Fool me 3 times, hey." You know the song. Last page says, just because I forgive you doesn't mean I fuck with you. You can forgive somebody and not even want to be in their presence no more. You don't want the relationship to continue, but in your heart, you are telling yourself and the Lord, I forgave them. We're done with this, moving forward. There's no need to rekindle this relationship. What was done was done. It is what it is. All lessons need to be learned on everyone's own time. The sweetness about forgiveness is acceptance. With acceptance comes peace. We all need a piece of peace. That's the ultimate goal. Peace. No, you will not disturb my peace, my love, or my happiness. I choose forgiveness for me, not you.